everybody. It's the coach.
By many accounts, Coach, one of the most underrated home venues in all of the NFL resides in the heart of Nashville, Tennessee, and that's where we find ourselves at Nissan Stadium. Today, we're set for a good AFC matchup between our visitors and the Tennessee Titans. This fielded at the 2. And he'll get it up just past the 20, and his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. The Chargers' all-time passing leader, Phillip Rivers, who's been their starter since 2006, trotting onto the field. And I'll tell you what, he may be just a couple of years from 40, but he can still do it. You look back to 2018, some people were whispering MVP and Rivers in the same breath with what he did in that campaign. Especially impressive in 2 December primetime victories, one against the Steelers, one against the division rival Chiefs. And although things ended not quite how they wanted in the playoffs to New England, Phillip Rivers still feels like he has a lot left in the tank. The pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, aren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play. Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace. There's an example of good situational football being played by a defense. They understood where the third down play was, the down and distance, and made sure that they didn't get anywhere near that, bringing up fourth down.
Yeah, they were sniffing out that marker, didn't want to let him get close to there, and now a likely 3 and out to start.
Yeah, I love the way they rallied to the football and got to him and made sure they didn't give up much run after catch.
This is taken at the 15. A big boot that time. 57 yards the official distance. And it'll be Titan football. Mariota and the Titans break the huddle, 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line. To throw, Mariota. He finds Corey Davis. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. The numbers for Davis last week: 6 catches for an even 100 yards.
5th in the league in receiving yards, and that's a strong category. I mean, if you're in the top 5 in anything, I don't care whether it's football or tiddlywinks, you're having a nice season.
Now a first-time 1,000-yard rusher from a season ago, it's Derrick Henry. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage.
I'm going to come back to you. I'm going to come back to you.
On 2nd and 11 now. Mariota, he will find Davis on the left side, complete. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 12 yards there and a first down. And he's top 5 in the league in terms of receiving yardage because of plays like that. What have you seen from him on film that you like so much?
Well, I'll strip away everything else and get to what we call the moment of truth. When the ball's arriving and there's a defender there, he just comes down with the ball. He competes and takes it away. Great hands, great ability to finish the catch.
A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
Now this one to his running back out of the backfield. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
Well, that was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? Second and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
Watch Mike.
First down, Mariota. Almost able to intercept it. That's one he would have liked to have held on to on this first drive. Instead, second down. And we roll now on the graphics for the offensive starters.
Let's take a look at the left tackle, Taylor Lewan. A big, gregarious guy with great athletic ability. Plays the game with a little bit of an edge. In fact, he doesn't play to the whistle. He plays to the echo of the whistle.
So after the incompletion on first, now second and 10.
We ain't beginning to tear you up. Don't get nervous. 3.
58, right over there. Yeah.
Throwing is Mariota. To the right side, complete to Taylor. That catch good for 5. It's third down.
Well, from their point of view, this game could not be starting out much better, could it? Force a punt on defense, and now they're moving it crisply on offense.
Crisply, I like that.
Like that?
Yeah, moving it very, very well. Looks like the defense on their heels a little bit. You put a score in here, long way to go, but you're right, that's a heck of a start.
Yeah, and I think this is where the play caller is looking at his play sheet and saying, do I have that dagger play? Do I have that play and just finish them off right now? Because I think they'd love to gain that big advantage early.
And he'll get it down here to the 43. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a fourth down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. Third down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go and make the tackle right away.
Too long for a field goal, too short to punt. That in-between range, and they'll go for it on fourth down. Now Mariota on fourth down, and he locates Walker, complete. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. A solid pickup of 5 and a very solid fourth down conversion, and defensively pure frustration. Mariota going to bring him up first and 10. And he's 6 of 7 now on this drive. This is Dion Lewis now in his 9th NFL season. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
So after the run for no gain, here's second and 10. Now Mariota. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion.
That's the way. Check 4.
From From the shotgun, it's Mariota. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. And he's brought to the ground with another first down at the Chargers' 14. Well, they're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this. And, hey, you know, how are you guys going to come out of the gate? I know I offered my help with a few plays, and they didn't seem to want it.
I didn't offer mine.
You were the smart one. Whatever they're doing, though, it's working really well.
And strong running there as he's inside the 10 and down to the 8-yard line. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid game. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
58 to Mike. 58 to Mike. I'm coming.
Second and 5 now. Mariota. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
Get your backs to the goal line. I can hear my high school coach right now. This is when force meets force. Got to be physical in order to win this battle.
Yeah, that's where the physicality pays off. A nice job forcing the contact and forcing the incompletion.
Yeah, Coach Ford would have loved that play.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down.
Three.
58 to Mike. 58 to Mike.
Working out of the gun, Mariota. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's fourth down.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. Well, after marching down the field, only getting 3 there, kind of feels like a win for the defense.
And it does. They'll go to the sideline feeling a lot better that they didn't give up a touchdown after the march against them. But if I were the offense, I wouldn't hang my head over that one. That's a good drive, and 3 points were put on the board.
This fielded at the 2. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. And the Chargers coming out on the field now. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
After the loss to start out, here's second and 11.
Let's go, B. Big series right here. We got to.
And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. And now time is called as we've got an injured Charger down there on the field. We'll check on his status when we get back. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now third and long. From the gun, Rivers. And he's got a man open. That's Allen. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A big gain of 28 as the drive continues.
Check 390. 390.
Check 53. Exit.
On first and 10, Rivers. And his throw here is incomplete. He was looking for his tight end, Hunter Henry. That'll bring up second down. That pass just a little bit off. It looked like maybe he tried to force it in there.
Game speed, always different, no matter what you do in practice. Can't simulate it, right? So your decision-making, everything has to be a little bit quicker. Sometimes it can throw you off until you adjust.
Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. Touchdown, L.A. Hunter Henry. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Chargers have taken the lead. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails? Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. Following the touchdown, Badgley out there to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe.
Mariota now. And this is incomplete. The intended receiver, Taywan Taylor. And that'll bring up second down. Great coverage there all around. Really didn't have many options to throw the football.
Very little chance that one was going to be completed. Every receiver was locked up.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Now Mariota. Got a man. It's Brown. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout. An injured player. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Tight ends Ringo. Tight ends on Ringo. Tight ends on the Ringo.
Now Lewis here on 1st down. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. Up front, the struggles continue for this offense among the line. What can they do? Change the play calling? What?
I think part of that, yes, changing some of the play calls, some screens, some draws, some misdirection. You want to run any type of a play that will influence these guys to continue to get upfield and find a way to use that against them and slip things in behind them. So some quick passes could work as well.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. After 7-3 the score on EA Sports. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out. Bang, 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 bang.
From the gun, Mariota. And that is incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback.
Here we go.
And returning to the field here, Hunter Henry, sitting right around the midpoint of the season, on pace for 1,000 yards. Good year so far, and I'm sure film study being devoted to him a little bit more on the other side.
They have to, because the pace that he's carrying right now, if you're pushing 1,000-yard pace as a receiver, that means he warrants your attention. And right now, precision is going on with their offense, kind of like that timepiece you wear on your wrist, you know, the good stuff. Got to knock that off somehow, chip away at that timing, change things up a little bit, and make them go to other things and make them do those things better.
Yeah, try to make him uncomfortable. Not many teams have been able to do that so far this year. Play fake to Gordon. Now Rivers. And that will be incomplete. would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
Open man is Cantrell.
Well, the stats that matter on this play don't help a team very much unless, of course, you're playing defense.
If you're getting points per reception, you got a reception, but no yardage. Great job by the defense, though. They read through that one.
They read through it, gave up no yardage, and people got credit for tackles. Pretty good deal.
On third down, Rivers. Caught right side, Davis. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30.
Let's go, boys.
And that goes as a gain of 37 on third down.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big gain. They'll run here with Eckler, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
On second down, Eckler. And this Tennessee defense for the second straight play gets him behind the line. They're not messing around. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll force upon him a 3rd and 14.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
That's leaking to the right, and he missed it by a foot or two. It's no good. The Chargers, a team that's really been plagued by poor field goal kicking the last decade or so, but I think they feel they've solved their problems with Badgley.
I would say so. He went 15 for 16 in 10 games last season, undrafted out of Miami. And remember, he had 5 field goals in the playoffs against the Baltimore Ravens.
Well, a couple of good division battles coming up in primetime this weekend, starting tonight with Sunday Night Football, Eagles and Cowboys from AT&T Stadium in Arlington. Then tomorrow on Monday night, it's the defending champs, the Patriots, on the road at MetLife Stadium to take on the Jets. 2 not to miss to close out Week 6. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Mariota to throw it. No, bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, and that could have been trouble. I'll call it luck or skill, whatever the case is. They're feeling good about just keeping the football there.
Yeah, the biggest thing that they're calling it now, our ball. I mean, they don't care if it was luck or skill. Boy, the panic that jumps up in your chest when that ball's on the ground, whether you get it or your teammate gets it, just as long as you maintain possession, that's all you're looking for.
Well, that last completion certainly not what they were hoping for, as now they'll try to convert on 3rd. To throw is Mariota. And unable to connect, incomplete. Well, give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
Well, sometimes those cliches really come true, don't they? When they talk about it takes all 11 to play good defense. We've seen that in this ball game. I think the secondary has to be singled out, though. They are in the presence of every receiver whenever the ball's thrown, and this one they help force another incompletion. Let's go old school there. That's absolutely a great coffin corner punt. Someone's put some time in working on that, hasn't it?
Seems like every year these guys get better and better. It's amazing how they can command that football through the air.
Yeah, they used to actually practice with hula hoops where they place them and try and put them there. Now a lot of guys use barrels on the sidelines to try and put the football in one.
Here's Eckler to begin the drive. And he'll find some room to get this up to about the 14. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. What a great surprise Austin Eckler has turned out to be. That's the kid that was undrafted out of Western State, signed with the Chargers in 2017, and then last season, 554 yards at 5.2 yards per carry, and then he was also effective catching the football. 39 receptions, over 400 yards there. A great compliment to Melvin Gordon. 22 yards there, a first down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield. Well, they were unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Rivers throwing complete to his tight end, Henry. 22 yards there, a first down.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little game. Running on first down, Eckler. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. On play action, Rivers. He's going to let it go end zone for Allen. Got a man, it's Allen for the Charger touchdown. Keenan Allen, his 6th touchdown of the season. The Chargers, they're able to widen their lead. And it was a tight window. He knew he had to rocket that thing in there. He got it done.
And when you're able to complete one like that, your confidence has to just go sky high. You just mentioned it. Tight window, zings it in there despite excellent coverage. Result, touchdown.
Following the touchdown, Badgley out there to kick it away. This is taken at his 4. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Derrick Henry trots back out there and gets ready to go. And for him, it's been pretty limited involvement down on the scoreboard. Maybe time to turn to this guy.
And you know me well. Winning games to me means starting with the running game and continuing to press the running game. Maybe you go away from him a little bit now, but the bottom line is he hasn't touched it enough to make a difference.
Well, they haven't established that running game yet. The question is, will they?
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter games turn into bigger runs later.
He's exceeded his receiving yards from a week ago, and we're still in the first half. It's a first down. We've got a 14-3 ball game with 2 minutes left in the opening half. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here. And they get to Mariota here as he's dropped on the sack. Joey Bosa able to record his 5th sack of the season.
This offensive line has struggled. In fact, when we sat down with the coach, he said it's been in tatters lately. They allowed 6 sacks in their last game. Just gave up another one right there.
In tatters, so it sounds a little bit like this right now?
Exactly. It's like that paper being ripped. And right now, they've got to find a way to get it back together.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here.
I'm going to run you over. I'm going to run you over.
Mariota. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. He was looking for the rookie A.J. Brown there, and it's 3rd down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things.
It's just me and you. It's just me and you. 58, right over there, right over there. Yeah, yeah. Mike, 58, right there. I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
3rd and long here for Mariota. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble.
I know there's no magnet in the ball, but sometimes for the punt returner, after such a scramble, it sort of feels that way, doesn't it? He has it, he loses it, somehow the ball finds its way back to him.
Atone for his sin, and you know he's taking a deep sigh of relief right now.
180.
Good track, good track.
Rivers on 1st down. Allen's got it over the middle. The Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Six yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
Switch.
To throw, Rivers. And to the right side here, it's Allen. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. Now the Chargers will use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. Rivers now 14 out of 17, 82%, and it's 1st and 10. From the shotgun, it's Rivers. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. Good completion there from Phillip Rivers, who has been really good against Tennessee in his career. This is the 9th time that he has faced the Titans as a starter, and so far he's 7-1 against them. So 2nd and inches after that 1st down completion went just shy of the marker. Wide open, it's Allen, complete. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. That one good for a 1st down pickup of 18 yards. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. Working his way into the secondary, figures out defenses and finds weak spots in order to get open.
Jumpy on the right side of the line.
Sometimes when you're on the end, a little bit farther away from the ball, any type of movement will get you to jump, and that's exactly what happened there.
They will come up on a 1st and 5 following the encroachment penalty. From the red zone now, Rivers. And his throw is incomplete. Keenan Allen, the intended target, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Right back for Allen. This time he finds him complete. Catch number 40 for him on the year. It's a 1st down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, You enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
Well, as a lineman, they are trained. You've got to stay close to home. If you're more than a yard downfield, they're going to toss that flag, and they did there.
390.
Hey, we got Mike, number 53. Mike, 53. We got.
To the air again here, Rivers. Over the middle, and it's caught. Keenan Allen. Down he goes at the 10 with a solid pickup of 8. And they'll burn the timeout with 5 seconds left. A chance to try to add 3 points before heading to the locker room. So on second down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. And now a timeout defensively after that first down play. So they're going to make this offense sweat out half number 1. So out comes a field goal team now for the second time here today. Badgley able to knock this one through, and they will stretch the lead now to 17-3. So a capper there to a pretty good first half.
And I love the way that they put a chokehold on the clock and pretty much drained everything before they put the field goal on the board as they headed into the half.
This will be fielded at the 8. So we have come to halftime. The second half upon us sooner than we bargained for. Week 7, second half. Let's do it. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This one taken from the 7. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Now on the return here, we've got an injured player down there. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. The Titans offense set to begin the drive. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. Mariota hands to Henry. And a nice run past the 30-yard line there. Pretty good running there, 9 yards. Sets up a 3rd and 1.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Now Mariota. And Walker with it over the middle. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down. A Titan first down, Mariota to Walker.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
A first down carry for Henry. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
4 down, even.
From the 39, Mariota. This will be caught by Brown. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down, because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down, executed it to perfection. And pretty nice work defensively there on the first down run as they hold him to a gain of a couple. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Here we go again. Here we go again.
To throw, Mariota. It comes, and he lost the football. Mariota had it jarred loose. And it's a terrific return here as he's going to have them set up with a 1st and goal right at about the 6-yard line.
Well, partner, they went empty set there. No backs in the backfield. All receivers out in the pattern. And in this situation, you know what the quarterback has to do? Act as his own blitz control.
Yeah, he's got nobody else there to protect
him. No one else there to protect, which means he's got to get rid of the football and absorb the hit, but not go down and fumble the ball.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he gets him a little bit closer. He takes it from the 6 inside the 5 to the 4.
That run didn't get very far, and I think when you're looking at his dimensions, he's a little bit on the smaller side. He's counting on the big guys up front to escort him in, and they couldn't create any kind of space for him, could they?
Yeah, didn't get the push they needed. They'll give to the brother of J.J. This is Derek Watt. And trying to push forward, but he is going to be stuffed up in the backfield.
After a play like that, there should be congratulations all the way around, I think, because if you can stop a big fullback like that, that's not easily done.
Yeah, he does not go down easily. You're right, but he did there. So they're back at the 7 now for 3rd and goal. Throwing, Rivers. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything to warrant a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Badgley's kick is good. And that'll push the lead up to 17. So put another 3 on the board. All things considered, a good opening drive to begin the 3rd quarter.
And as a defense, the way that this game is going, you're excited to see those points go on the board. Gives them a little bit of leeway to play with when they're out on the field, but they're real excited to see their offense score. Now they get to go out there and do their part.
And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
Like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
Offense.
So he was holding from that left tackle position.
Everyone tries to keep their hands inside when they're blocking ever since they liberalized the rules where you can extend them out. But sometimes they get out a little wide and they get detected grabbing some cloth.
52 to mine. It's just me and you. It's just me and you.
After the penalty, it's Henry. Give him 5 yards there, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. Throwing on 2nd and 14. Mariota. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back. Complete. 7 yards on the play, and they're going to have a 3rd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
31's the mic. I got you.
Working out of the gun, Mariota. Open man is Taylor. He's got it. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Tennessee getting the first down on a big play of 18 yards. Mariota now. 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Mariota going to give to Lewis. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a first down again.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10.
31's the mic.
Here we go.
From the shotgun, it's Mariota. Going deep for Walker. A battle for it, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Jatavis Brown. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team.
A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
It's Eckler again. And he'll take this forward only up to about the 7. 2 yards the gain there, and now they're left with a 3rd and about 4 for a first.
180, block 15.
53, check 53. All day, all day.
Rivers from the gun on 3rd down. He'll get this to Eckler. And they'll get him down up past the 15-yard line. It's a gain of 11 and a first down, L.A.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with a football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Keenan Allen, the intended receiver. But it's going to be 2nd down. Rivers incomplete on first down. Here's 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Rivers. Henry's got it. Out on the left side. And he'll be about a full yard shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down.
Well, they were unable to make anything really big out of that, but it's not a bad idea to find your tight end and give him an easy completion and keep moving things forward. Almost his bread and butter is a good running back dive play.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
Certainly looked like maybe his 3rd or his 4th read on his progression. Just trying to find his outlet man that time. Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. That'll be a 44-yard boot, just a yard on the return as he's covered up quickly. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Titans offense now, they work their way back onto the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know what, a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
4 yards on the pickup, and it'll be 2nd down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6.
31's the mic.
I smell fear.
Now Mariota. He's going to float this over the middle deep, and that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down.
3rd down and 6 yards to go.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down.
Hey. 4 down.
From the gun, Mariota. And that will be incomplete.
Intended for A.J. Brown. Incomplete. Results in a 4th down.
Now, this will probably be the last play of the quarter. They're indeed going. It's Mariota. And that one knocked away and incomplete. Nice job defensively on what will be the final play of the third quarter. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Watch the run. Check.
Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
Rashaan Evans out of Alabama had the tackle defensively.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they won't put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Now Rivers. Open man is Cantrell. And the broken tackle helps lead to a 1st down gain. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
1st down, Chargers.
And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
That's what I do.
Once more, here's Eckler. He's got the 1st down inside the 10. And finally wrestled down at the 8-yard line. A gain of 13. It's a 1st down. Starting to become a tough spot for this defense. You're down 4th quarter. Looking a little fatigued maybe on that side of the ball.
Partner, we've seen this before, haven't we? Because every coach we've ever talked to says body language is important. And now you're seeing guys with their hands on their hips. They're bent over.
And nowhere to get away. Rivers is dropped. The seasoned vet out of Penn State, Cameron Wake, in to drop him.
Well, that was point counterpoint, wasn't it? They decided to throw for it on 1st and goal. Instead, the defense counters with pressure, and the defense wins, getting a big sack.
To try again after the sack, Rivers.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
On 3rd down, here's Eckler. And this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage. Back at the 17. Not at all what they envisioned on 3rd down. 3 yards in the wrong direction.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
Badgley able to punch this one through. And that will push this lead up to 20 now. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
That'll be taken in the end zone. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. But good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on fourth down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
On 2nd and 10, Mariota. Joey Bosa in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
Remember, throughout my career here, defensive coaches always say, guys, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. Well, they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
These pass rushers have to be salivating. It is pin your ears back time indeed. Mariota will need a big play after the sack as the Titans come up 3rd and long.
Tie it right, tie it right. Hey, we got 4 down, 4 down. Check 31, check 31. Deuce.
Mariota now. He's going to wind up and air it out. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Trevor Williams with a pick. And the possession is theirs at their own 43-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. Now that turnover might just about do it here. 4th quarter, the lead that you've got, they can just run the football, run the clock.
Exactly right. They played smart, couple of first downs, and this one should just about be over.
They'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 11. Charles, you'd said the magic number was probably right around 20 for this defense because they're facing one of the top 5 offenses in the league in terms of points scored. They've had their moments, but this offense just a little too good, isn't it?
They really are, because no matter what you do to make an adjustment.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the safety, Kenny Vaccaro. And he's going to score. It's a Titans touchdown. This game's still fairly well in hand, but I think now you go conservative, don't you? Go into your shell and just run the football?
I think you have to, but you also have to tell your backs, make sure you're really protecting the football because you're going to run into a stacked defensive front, which is why they were throwing the football before, trying to make sure they just get their backs, really beat up in that situation. Now, good luck to them.
Ryan Suckup on for the point after. It's up, it's true as they get back in it a bit here. It's now 23-10. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This fielded at the 2. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line.
Let's go.
Here's a Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
That throw into the arms of Allen. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. 25 yards that time.
Well, it may seem a little unorthodox to some people. Got the lead, 4th quarter, yet he's still firing away. I think he believes that's the best way to go ahead and win the game.
Yeah, a lot of coaches say, let's just run the football, be conservative. He's sticking to his game plan.
No, that is his game, and that's what they're going to ride.
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Rivers hands off to Eckler. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Charger football as we welcome you back from the 2-minute warning. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Throws left side, complete to Keenan Allen. The completion there winds up a wash, and it'll bring up 4th down.
They dialed up the blitz on 3rd down, and your worry as a defense that they can hit you with a big play in that situation. Instead, the blitz pays off, able to rally to the football and make the play.
Badgley able to knock this one through, and that will swell the lead to 16. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but they still ate up time, got points, so while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Mariota sets to lead this offense. Down by 16, a minute 15 remaining. Now their losing streak in danger of continuing as they come up on 1st down.
Bandit. 57's the mic. Watch 57. Who that? Who that?
Check 37. Check 37. Check 3. Check 3. Check 3.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a 1st down.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into some windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a second interception, really a bad throw. So maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier in the game, and he's applying it now.
Throwing on 2nd down. Mariota over the middle here to Brown. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 12 yards there and a 1st down.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route.
31's the mic. You can't block me. You can't block me.
They'll throw again. Mariota. He's going to let it fly. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
So many times we end a game, and as we're recapping it, we're talking about what offenses did and how they won the game. Let's flip this one over. The defense, they frustrated the offense the entire ball game. That's why they're walking out of here with a victory.
And they're going to love to walk out of here with that as their final act, that interception. Good way for them to end it. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And 3 timeouts remaining here defensively, but really not much reason to use them at this point as this one is all but over.
If they use the timeouts here, it's strictly for show. We got a plane to catch.
They started on the ground with Eckler, and he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3. The Titans going to use the first of their timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this 4th quarter. Now 2nd and 7 from the 23.
I'm here all day. I'm here all day.
Here's Eckler. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6. Now Tennessee going to use the second of their timeouts. as they'll stop it with 25 ticks remaining on the clock. The Chargers on third down. They're right at about the league average, 40%, 4 for 10. Here it's 3rd and 2. They'll try to pick up the first with Eckler. And he caught it up, and that might be Titan football. It is.
Well, that's one of those mistakes. That's a fumble that when they get to the sidelines, I know you're mad, Coach, but look, we've still got this locked down. But that's not necessarily true, is it?
No, their hopes are slim, but you just hate to give them any hope. You could have sealed it right there.
Yeah, could have finished them off and taken away all hope, as we like to say.
Out come the Titans now. They can't do much at this point, partner. This one is going to go down in the loss column.
You don't make up for what has happened during the game in this sequence here. Maybe you hand it off and let someone run the ball if you so choose. But otherwise, just kneel down, call it a day, and try and prepare going forward.
Watch the screen! Watch the screen! Watch the screen!
Mariota now after the fumble recovery. His throw caught right around the 6. Now the Titans will use their 3rd and final timeout, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the ball game.
First and goal at the 6-yard line.
Here we go. Tight right, tight right. 31's the mic. Watch the call.
Mariota. And it's caught. He's got it for a late touchdown, but probably a little too late. It would take a miracle of epic proportions if they're going to pull this one off. Well, they knew a lot of steps had to happen here. They got step 1, the touchdown. You need a 2-point conversion here, don't you?
You do, and as you continue to look ahead, if they're able to get that, somehow get the ball back and get another score, they have to go for 2 again. That's why teams are practicing multiple 2-point plays.
We saw that in Super Bowl 51 with the Patriots getting a pair of big 2-point conversions. Mariota to throw. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. A very pivotal 2-point try that does not go their way. Now it's a big uphill battle for the rest of the fourth quarter.
The attempt was to try and make it a one-score game, right? Touchdown, get 2, and now you've tied it up. Instead, they don't get it, still down 10.
They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none.
It's a loss of a yard. Brings up 2nd and 11.
Back, 380!
A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for our visitors, the win moves them up to 5-2 now on the year. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to the Windy City to take on the Bears. Meanwhile, for the Titans, they dip to 2-5 now with the loss. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.